What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ju Wills. I'm a model slash social media influencer who happens to know a little about subjects pertaining to spiritual and personal development. So if you couldn't tell by the title, this video isn't really about spiritual and personal development. I'm going to be talking about how I was able to grow my social media platforms. However, if you are interested in subjects pertaining to spiritual and personal development and you might need a little help in those areas and you can't afford therapy, I definitely suggest you go check out my other videos because there's some really good gems in there. I wouldn't lie to you. And without further ado, we're just going to get into the video. I've been a social media influencer for quite a while now. I have a total of 90,000 followers across all of my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And it's really interesting because I was never super big on social media before that happened. Like, I used to be notorious for taking breaks, which I can't really do that anymore because I got I got people that I have to keep entertained before they all just disappear and not come back. So it's like, this is kind of my job now. So it's like I'm expected to show up and I don't know. But let's get into how I was able to build this platform in the first place. I'm not going to be lecturing you guys today. It's real chill today. Class is not in session. It's really just going to be me talking about myself for 15 minutes. And knowing me, I'm probably going to sprinkle some gems, sprinkle a little motivational, inspirational quote in there somewhere. So watch where you step. I don't want to get your shoes dirty. That was a terrible joke. I think I want to edit that out. I don't know yet. But yeah, wow. Okay, let's just get right into it, So for most people, I started social media when I was in middle school. Like, I was just an avid social media user. I started off on Facebook, and I kind of went from Twitter to Instagram. I remember when Instagram was invented, like that's how long I've been around. I remember when Instagram was invented. That's how long I've been around. Like, this is like 2011, 2012 when I started social media. I was like, I'm 24 now, so it's been a while. It's been over 10 years. But I remember a time where, like, we didn't have social media on our phones. We had to go on a computer, had to wait till we got home to see what was going on. I remember when Instagram DMs wasn't a thing. I remember when Twitter had like a capacity limit. I remember Tumblr, bro. Tumblr used to be so cool. Yeah, bro, like, I've been around long enough to see the different seasons and the changes in social media. And I always kind of had in my mind that I wanted to be a social media influencer even before that was the coin term for it. Like, I would see people, getting free clothes, and I wanted free clothes too. I'm in high school. I want to get fresh. you feel me? But, I wasn't even thinking about the money, I didn't even know, like, you can get paid for doing that. Like, I was just thinking they just got free stuff. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I want to do that too. Like, what you mean? So that was always kind of in my mind, but I was never really serious about, posting anything. I remember Vine was pretty popular back in the day. And I used to post on Vine too. Every single thing I used to post in like middle school, early high school, I swore it was going to get me out the hood. Like, this is the one that's going to give me all the likes and the attention. I'm about to get some brand deals. Like, we ain't going to have to struggle anymore. We weren't even struggling that hard, but it's just like, I just wanted to be that. Fast forward years and years and years and years, it never happened. So I kind of just gave up on that goal, and I was just using, social media like everybody else was. But, it wasn't until I stopped caring about social media that I blew up on social media, which I think is really cool. I mean, now I'm like, I don't really care about the cloud or anything like that, but I know younger me, middle school me, 13-year-old me is doing backflips if he saw what I was doing now. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to share with you guys today how I got into it though. So in my early adulthood, I was like in my 20s or whatever, TikTok was like really popular. It just transferred from like Musical.ly to TikTok. And I was one of those people who just thought I was way too cool for the app. Like, I'm 19, I'm 20, this is for kids, bro. Like, I'm not getting on there. I'm gonna stick to my Instagram and Twitter. And even then I only had like, I went through a little phase where I deleted all of my social media. So my Twitter had like 100 followers. My Instagram had like 300 followers. It was all people that I knew, very local, very chill. I could kind of just post and say whatever I wanted on the internet. Like, it was a fun time for real. It was cool. When I finally decided I wanted to make a TikTok account, I was sick with COVID. It was like this wasn't even during 2020. This was during 2021. I thought COVID was done. I thought it was dead. Boom, I catch it. I'm sick. I'm in my deathbed. Literally thought I was going to die. I'm just sitting there like, you know what? You know, if it's going to be my last week, let me download TikTok and see what all the fuss is about so I can, you know, have a couple laughs before I go, because I just don't really, I mean, what else is there to do? I'm laying in bed all day. Like, let me download TikTok. So I download TikTok and I'm just using it for like a couple of weeks. I'm just using TikTok. I'm just like, you know, watching it. I'm laughing. It's funny. I like it. And it hit me. I was like, you know what? I could kind of see myself doing this. Like, I'm a funny guy. People always kind of told me that I was funny. Like, it is what it is. It's just something that's just in me. Yeah, I was just like, you know, I could do this too. So as soon as I got well, as soon as I got the strength to be healthy again, you know, I decided I'm gonna get myself a nice little haircut, nice little shave, and I got on my camera and I started recording TikToks. And I was just doing it for fun at first. Like, I was just making TikToks, just making them, and they would get like 14 views, 3 likes, 24 views, and I really thought I was doing something, because I'm like, wow, bro, I have 0 followers, yet 24 people view my TikTok. Like, 24 people came to see me. That's how I was feeling. And it was cool. It was lit or whatever. And then like a week into it, I ended up getting a viral video, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I never went viral on anything in my life. You know, I've always been pretty popular in real life, but the internet just was never my, you know, it was just never my playground. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was notorious for taking breaks from the internet for long periods of time. Like, I just didn't care to post much. But once I started seeing my TikTok was starting to get traffic, I was like, okay, I could kind of like do something with this. There's people out here who like think I'm funny. They think I'm like cool or whatever they think. They come in to follow now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the first viral video I ever got. It was kind of just like a voice snippet. I was really good for doing those voiceovers and making like funny, you know how TikTok is. I just used the sound, made a funny caption, and I remember just refreshing the page. I'm just looking at the notifications, just boom, 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 boom. It just didn't stop. And I was like, overnight, my video went from like having 20 likes to 60K likes. I'm just like, wow, like, I'm famous. Like, I really made it, bro. Like, I can't believe I made it. And that just motivated me to keep going. So I just started making more videos, and I got a couple more viral videos, and people started following me. But it wasn't until I decided to just get on TikTok and start showing my personality that I really got followers. I started opening up and like being more expressive, and like, you know, that's when people started pouring in, and that's when I noticed I was starting to make a name for myself as far as branding, which I thought was like really cool. And I was like, you know, I can kind of seize this and do something with it, which I still didn't really do anything with it. I was just growing my platform, you know what I mean? I decided to link my Instagram to my TikTok because that became an option while I was on there. So I did that, and then the followers kind of went from my TikTok to my Instagram account. So after I started getting the followers on like different apps, I realized that I could kind of capitalize off of this. I put myself in a position to be able to make money off the internet, so let's do it. Social media has definitely opened a lot of doors for me. Social media has enabled me to be able to relocate to a new state, you know, small town boy from Ohio living in New York and doing pretty well for himself just because I decided to get out of my comfort zone and make a video on TikTok, you know what I mean? It's been assisting me in my modeling career a lot. You know, I think a big reason of why I'm able to get work so easily is because of my following. A lot of brands, you know, they see someone with a nice following, you're gonna post pictures of the show, so they're thinking like, okay, they're gonna post pictures of my clothes, so, you know, let me have them walk. And, you know, it just really opens a lot of doors. Last month, I was dancing in Times Square for the Weeknd's Fortnite collab, so I thought that was really cool too. Like, all of these opportunities that I'm getting just based off of, you know, just being on social media. I think it's something that we live in a very interesting time. Like, this used to not be a thing. And a lot of people are just waking up to the freedom that comes with that. I mean, granted, it is a full-time job, you know, but at the same time, it's like, it's not really manual labor. Like, all you got to do is post, stay consistent, be a little strategic about the times that you post, the things that you post. And that's something I want to get into too. I'm not really going to get too deep into giving advice because I'm not really much of a social media guru, but I can tell you what worked for me. A lot of people will tell you when you start social media, you want to find a niche. And to be completely honest with you, I do think that's a great idea to find a niche, but I wouldn't be so hell-bent on finding that niche from the beginning. You know, what I did, I just was on there just posting random videos, showing my quirks, showing my personalities. I think I just said personalities with an S. But yeah, I was just showing, showing who I was. And luckily for me, it was received well. You know, I always thought I had a pretty fun, interesting, intriguing personality. But once strangers from the internet started telling me the same thing, it was like, okay, I'm not just full of myself. Like, this is true. Like, I have something going here that I can work with. If you are one of those people who all your life you have people telling you like you should have your own TV show, you should be a comedian, blah, 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 and you thought about doing social media, you should definitely get on that right now because there is so much opportunity out there for you. There's so much space that you could take up just off the strength of being yourself. And that's another thing too. When you are genuine on these platforms, when you are yourself, it's so much easier for you to get ahead because you now have a strong, loyal support base. You know what I don't want to say fan base, but like that's really like they support you. They like you. They like what you stand for. They like your personality, and whatever you decide to do, wherever you decide to pivot, they're going to follow and they're going to like support that too because they like you. They don't like this specific niche that you're attached to, that's the way that I went, and I'm the type of person, like I go through a lot of phases, a lot of changes. I've gotten to the point where that is my niche. I could refer to myself as the Maverick. Like I'm always doing something new. I don't really like labels or anything like that, and that reflects in my social media presence. Like my YouTube is a different vibe from my Instagram. My Instagram is a different vibe from my Twitter. My Twitter is a different vibe from my TikTok. It's all like different parts of me that I'm sharing to get like this one big full picture. And I think that's a really good strategy for a lot of people who do have multifaceted personalities and you want to be able to explore and show how well-rounded you are. That would be a pretty good route to take. Yeah, just be original, be yourself. TikTok is one of those platforms especially where you can definitely be yourself because there is literally an audience out there for you. All you have to do is just show up. They're not going to recognize you if you're not being yourself. So just be 100% authentic. That way, you won't phase out with the trends because they come and they go. I've seen it all the time. You get this really big TikToker, they just get so hell-bent on like doing these trends and then it's not trending anymore. People don't want to see this type of content and now they're struggling. And if you quit your job for this, you definitely don't want to be in that position because it's really stressful to not know where your next check is coming from or to not know, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think all of that could be avoided if you just come on there as your full, authentic self, get over that fear of being on camera. When I first started, I noticed my personality changed when I was on camera. I felt like I needed to be like cooler than I was in real life for whatever reason. No, cut all that out. Just get on there, be, and record. And you could do it. You could post to TikTok, you could post to YouTube, you could post to whatever. Stop trying to follow these trends though. That's something I had to teach myself. Like, don't follow the trends. I think I said I wasn't lecturing. Here I am lecturing. But yeah, I told myself like I wasn't going to follow the trends because, I don't know, I just really wanted to get on here and just show people who I was. And I'm lucky enough that it's been received well. So I think that's really cool. And I'm honestly really blessed to even have gotten this far, to be able to grow so much on my platform. But not only that, as a person too, just off of being myself. Like I don't really have a niche. There isn't really any organization on like my platforms. I think YouTube is the most organized I've ever been with any of my social media presences. And the main thing I just have to say is just get on here, be consistent, don't get so focused on the numbers, just because you see, I only have 50 likes on the video or I only have like 2,000 views on this TikTok that it was a flop. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's in that number. It could be Oprah or like Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? Like keep posting your stuff. You never know who's gonna connect with. And I've heard stories of people who like they didn't have major followings and they've gotten jobs just because the right person saw their content. All you gotta do is put yourself out there. That's all you have to do is put yourself out there. That's it. And if you do have a niche, like if you're a barber, if you are a hairstylist, makeup artist, you're in the fashion scene or whatever that is, you can use that. Because there is people love barber videos, people love styling videos, you know what I mean? And you could definitely use that to your advantage to help grow your following, to grow your brand, and to grow your business, you know what I mean? So it definitely is. I will say this, before you get into social media, don't think, oh, it's just so chill, I just post videos and I go about my life. There's definitely a lot of strategy involved. There's definitely a lot of, constantly thinking of new ideas, a lot of creativity involved. If you do want to get into like being more than just like a funny person on the internet, like you want to create a brand for yourself and you want to be able to make revenue, it's a job at the end of the day. And I think if you just treat it as such, the outcome will be worth it. All of a sudden, I just got tired of talking. I don't like talking about myself too much. So that is all I have to say for this video. And that's how I did it, bro. That's how I was able to grow my following. And it's still growing to this day, which I think is really cool, that people aren't getting tired of seeing me. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm so like random too. Like a lot of people who follow me, they've been here since my first YouTube channel. And they've been following me through TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. I think a lot of people just kind of realize that I myself am such a well-rounded, like multifaceted person. Like I'm full of surprises for real. And they just kind of sit back and be like, okay, what's next? Yeah. So if you like what you saw here today, feel free to, subscribe and, maybe one day I'll link my social media to my YouTube, but not today. But yeah, bro, just if you are a content creator, congratulations on taking that first step and putting yourself out there, because it is hard. And yeah, good luck to you and everything that you got going on. If you're thinking about being a content creator, just go ahead and do it. Like, just do it. What are you waiting on? Do it today. Do it right now. Do it. And you don't need all this fancy equipment. You don't need the best lighting, all you need is your cell phone. Hit record and post. So that's all I have to say in this video. And I will talk to you another time. Okay, all right, I'm going, bye.